On Tuesday, the Alberta government tabled legislation to use the notwithstanding clause again, this time to shield 3 transgender-related policy bills from legal challenges. So what does this mean for the 3 current legal challenges to those bills? Let's start with the 3 bills. One prevents the use of puberty blockers and hormones for those under the age of 16. The second requires parental consent if a student wants to use a different name or pronoun at school. And third, limits membership of women's and girls' sports teams to athletes declared female at birth.
There are times when the legislature needs to move forward with important pieces of legislation that cannot be tied up in the courts for years and years, and that is the purpose for using the notwithstanding clause in yesterday's Bill 9.
Egal Canada is challenging 2 of the bills in court and plans to go after the 3rd bill as well. As for the case related to puberty blockers, a judge has already granted an injunction pausing the implementation of the bill, citing it could be harmful if enacted before the court heard evidence.
The court challenges will continue. I think the government was saying to the press earlier this week that they expected that all the litigation would go away as soon as they introduced this bill. But unfortunately, that's not how a constitutional democracy works. A government can't just opt out of the court process, and we intend to continue fighting.
This UBC professor says the Alberta government could still appeal the injunction.
If Alberta wants to keep pursuing that, then that may be very well continue on as a. So when Saskatchewan did this, Saskatchewan had its law struck down actually in 2018, and it responded with the notwithstanding clause, and the case kept moving up to the courts above.
And this law professor still expects the court challenges to continue and potentially in the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court of Canada has recognized that trans individuals are among the most vulnerable and marginalized groups in Canadian society, and they're clearly the target of this Alberta legislation.
For now, the bill still has to pass, while the legal challenges are to be determined. Travis McEwan, CBC News, Edmonton.